Hi friends, we're two girls from Australia, no experts, but we love to discuss FPL and chat about our weekly selections.
Most importantly today, we're going to tackle Taylor's Wildcard. This episode is going to go through some options to fix the issues we have in Taylor's squad. Do you want to tell us who is in your squad right now for Gameweek 5?
Well, I've got in my goalkeepers McCarthy and Foster. Then in my defensive, I have White, Alexander-Arnold, Tamikis, Shaw and Cresswell. Then in my midfield, I've got Grealish, Mount, Gilmore, Fernandez and Benrahma. And then up front in my forwards, I've got Pukki, Antonio and Ronaldo.
Nice, not bad. It's not a bad squad. I guess some of the players could be replaced. Let's have a look and see what problems do you want to sort out? We've got some points here.
Well, I feel like I've just been a bit of a reactive player since the beginning of this league season. So I'm just deciding between Lukaku and Ronaldo. Fernandez not really a good FPL asset at the moment. He's not on penalties, not a forward attacking option now that Ronaldo is here.
Yeah, right. And I guess the fixtures kind of turned for United and Chelsea because in the next couple of games we see that United's kind of a hit and miss with their fixtures. So, I mean, we've got to have a look. And I know with Chelsea, they've got some good run of fixtures, so we will chat about that a bit later. I know we've got Tsimikas there. He is a good option, but because Robbo is back, we might possibly see Tsimikas take a back seat for that left back position. Yeah, let's find out.
Yeah, definitely. And Shaw's not bringing in any points, but he is getting forward. But who knows how he's going to be going with the United's upcoming fixtures. And Mount rested or not selected. You know, he's expensive for his minutes he's playing, but there are other players who are cheaper and are more nailed.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. We'll have a look at some of those Chelsea options as well. We're going to go through three players to consider in each position. So let's start off with the defenders. So first up, we've got our defenders here in Rudiger. So Rudiger comes in with 33 points this season so far. He's priced at 5.6 million. And he's also got some really good fixtures coming up. So after his Man City fixture at home, they've got Southampton and Brentford in the next three as well. He's probably out of the three, not three, I'd probably say out of all of the Chelsea defenders, he's actually probably the most nailed, minimum risk rotation compared to the likes of Alonso and of, what have we got there, Thiago Silva, as well as Aspi as well. He did score that goal on the weekend, which was nice. He's not usually very attacking, but great to see he can get those points. Yeah.
I think a lot of FPL players are starting to notice him and are bringing him in. So he's definitely a player to consider at the moment.
Definitely. We've got Van Dijk up next. Yep.
Yeah, so Van Dijk has a total of 33 points and his price is 6.5. He's very attacking on the corners, which is great. His height and he uses his headers. It's just brilliant when we see TAA on the corners kicking them in. And he is an alternative to TAA. He is just so solid. And with the fixtures at the moment, it's looking all right, apart from Man City. So they've got Brentford, Man City United. Oh, sorry, not Man City. United, Man City, and Watford.
Yeah, that's cool. Van Dijk's a very good player to have in that side. He is absolutely nailed. So we saw the likes of Trent being ill last week, but also Robbo and Tsimikas have been a bit of a chop and change. So he's really key to that defensive line at Liverpool there, right?
Right. And then up next, we've got Duffy. So he's got a total of 27 points for just 4.3 mil. To me, that is an amazing amount of points for such a cheap attacking defensive player. So their fixture at the moment is Crystal Palace, Arsenal and Norwich. So it's looking all right for them.
Yeah. Brighton's pretty defensive as it is. I mean, we saw a lot of people bring in Duffy in the last couple of weeks. And he is there because Lamptey one of their defenders is coming back. So we might see his minutes be cut. But at the moment, for the price of 4.3, getting attacking and possibly clean sheets is pretty good for a good Brighton side. So, yeah, fantastic to see. let's go on to our next slide here, which goes on to our midfielders, our 3 midfielders. We have Gray, Salah, and Sarr. Let's start off with Gray, shall we?
Yeah, so Gray from Everton has a total of 28 points for the price of 5.8. With Norwich up next, he should have a really good opportunity to show what he's made of. He's on penalty duties and he's had 6 shots in the box. That really shows that as a midfielder, he's really creating some opportunities for the forwards and just to get in some goals for them.
Definitely. He's got Norwich up next, so very interesting to see here. And because we know that Richarlison and DCL are still out for probably until late October or mid-October, I think. So he might be the one to score some points there for the Everton side. Let's have a look at Salah. So Salah's come in with 50 points. He's priced at 12.6. But, oh my gosh, this is incredible, Taylah. Have a look at this. 56.8% ownership. That's over half the managers. That's insane. And being priced, I guess, at 12.6 means that he is one of our captainable players. So you want to be able to captain someone who's worth that price, right?
Yes, that's right. And you know what? I tried to not go on that bandwagon of making him captain, but it just looks like I will need to because those points are just insane.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's just so consistent every week. And with their fixtures at the moment, Brentford, Man City, and Watford, I think he will be able to bring in some more awesome points for Liverpool.
I think so too. And I know with a rate of 56.8 ownership, like when he hauls, he will bring up rank for a lot of people. So he's almost essential for me in my squad. I have him every year. He's been solid since he's come into the Premier League, which is great. Let's move on to Sarr. So Sarr has come in with 30 points already this season, only at 6.1 million. So he's in great form at the moment. We know he scored 2 goals on the weekend. Looked pretty good against the Norwich side. They have Newcastle next, which is good to see. So I know a lot of managers, he did go up in price this week. I know a lot of managers have brought him in. So it would be great to see if he can give some returns. I'm looking to get him in myself into this week, actually. So very exciting. We haven't yet seen Watford have any penalties, but he is rumoured to be on penalty duties. But he's also had 11 shots in the box. How insane is that?
That is just incredible.
Yeah.
Like, Watford aren't on the top of the ladder at the moment, but he's getting the minutes and he's creating those opportunities for his team. So I just think it's no questions asked. You must consider this player.
Yeah, I definitely think he's a great short-term option, particularly because we know Leeds have a couple of injuries in Bamford. Rafinha might be out as well. He's orange flagged since this morning. And also, they've got a couple of defender injuries. So I think Leeds have it tough. I think Sarr could do really well in the next 2 games. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on him. Let's move on to our next couple of, or 3 forwards, I should say, to consider. The first one up, we've got Vardy, who comes in with 29 points this season already. He's priced at 10.4, so not really a cheap defender, but I must say he's been relatively consistent with attacking returns here and there. So that's really good to see. He might be a bit of a dark horse in terms of differential captains. He's not one that people talk about, but I mean, with Leicester coming in with not the best start this season, I think that is something that people are a bit wary of, I guess. Would you say, Taylah?
Well, the fixtures are looking quite good for the next 6 game weeks. Burnley, Crystal Palace up next. Man United will be their most challenging one. But I honestly think Vardy creates such a good opportunity for his team. If they need a goal, he's the one to get it.
He definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
A lot. Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to Tony. So Tony comes in with 24 points. That's awesome to see. How much is he priced at?
So he's priced at 6.3 million. I had him at the beginning of the season, and I actually took him out because he just wasn't performing. A lot of people were taking him out, I swear.
Yeah.
But he has a great form. For Brentford that's coming up a league, I just think it's so great to see how amazing he's doing. He's a brilliant penalty taker. However, their fixture is not looking good in the next few weeks. They've got Liverpool, West Ham and Chelsea, so that will be a challenge for them.
Oh, absolutely. I think Brentford have started off the season quite well. It's only until now they're really getting tested with some more attacking sides. So we'll see how they hold up, and hopefully they can get the ball to Tony and, you know, score some goals from Tony, because he has been playing really, really well. Speaking of Chelsea as well, let's go on to Lukaku. Big man Lukaku. Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, so he's got a total points of 24 and he's priced at 11.6 million. So he can bring in a great haul for the team. He's a strong finisher and he's got some great fixtures.
Yeah, he does. After this Man City game, I think a lot of people are looking to triple up on Chelsea. So Lukaku could be one if you need to fill one of those premium spots, I guess.
Yeah, and it's funnily enough to compare him against Tony when Tony brought in, what was it, like 12 points last week? Like, that was brilliant for Tony. So we'll see how Lukaku goes in the next few weeks and if he will bring in some more big points.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go on to, after we've considered all of these, we're going to go into some tinker time. So I'm very excited to do this, guys, because we're going to go on and have a look at Taylor's team. Taylor, your team is here. Who have you got taken out? Oh, we've got quite a few taken out, but let's have a look at who you've got in your team that you are going to consider.
Right, so I'm going to start with the goalkeepers. I've got McCarthy from Southampton and Foster from Watford, but I'm going to keep them because like McCarthy, he's 4.5 million, but in his last week he brought in 6 points and the week before he brought in 7 points. So I'm really happy with McCarthy, although Foster hasn't been playing until just last game week, so I'm just going to keep him on the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to change the screen here, Taylor, because we've got a little bit of a technical difficulty with the cameras. So just give me a minute. Why don't we just have a quick look here, because I'm just going to see if I can change some of the screen so that we can go onto your Tinker Time and have a look at each of your players. I'm just checking the top here. 109. Oops. 90 and 30 here. Alright, so I've just changed that on stream, so that's pretty careful with that. Alright, let's have a look now. We're going to have a look over at your team. Who are we going to bring in your defensive line? Who have you got there?
Alright, so in my defensive line, I have White, Rudiger, Van Dijk, Alexander and Cresswell that I'm considering.
Yeah.
So White at 4.4 million, you know what? He's been so good. Last game week, he brought in 7 points and the week before that, 5. So that was against Burnley and Norwich. So up next, he's actually playing Tottenham. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And Brighton.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to leave him where he is.
Yeah.
He's looking quite good in my eyes.
Yeah, considering like he's in a good position with Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal kind of, I think a few people are sleeping on Arsenal defense. So we'll see how they go. Who else are you bringing in there?
So this is where I'm bringing in Rudiger. I think for 5.5 as that Chelsea defender, you just need him in the next few weeks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got such a good run of fixtures. Let's have a look here, guys. Who has he got up next? So apart from Man City, they've got Southampton at home, Brentford away, Norwich at home. That's a good fixture. Newcastle away. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Burnley away. They've got a good how many fixtures coming up, Chelsea?
And last game week against Tottenham, he brought in 14 points.
Yeah, that's insane.
Seriously.
Yeah.
For a team that, you know, is quite good, and Chelsea just all around just creating so much opportunities for themselves, I just think it would be a mistake to look over him.
Yeah, definitely. Have you thought about the other Chelsea options, or are you're pretty keen on just having Rudiger priced at 5.5? You happy with that?
I have thought about the other ones. Alonso, sorry, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Alonso,
So I was considering him, but he is just above my price at the moment for my team. So I made the decision to go Rudiger, and put him
you saved yourself 0.1 million because you did bring him in a bit earlier this week before the price rise. So good job with that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to bring in Alonso as well. And I think two Chelsea defenders would be good for their run of fixtures. They have been looking really, really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'd be wise to bring in two, especially with their fixtures, so that will really bounce off each other and take advantage of your team.
Yeah.
But definitely. where you're going that way, I'm going a bit more the Liverpool way. So up next, I've got my Van Dijk from my beloved team, and last week he brought in 12 points. And I think that was great for not having Alexander-Arnold next to him. And having to, take control of that defensive line with a substitution there. So I think he's just a really good, consistent player to have. He's always starting on, and I just really think it will be a good opportunity to get some more points in that defensive line.
Absolutely, yeah. He's definitely nailed in that side. Klopp really loves having Van Dijk there. He's a solid player, and he's reliable. And I know they've got a bit of a mix of fixtures. So they've got Brentford up next, then we've got Man City and Watford. But then they've got United, Brighton and West Ham. And then we've got a couple of good fixtures in Arsenal and Southampton. So they do have a bit of a chop and change fixture with some difficult ones and some easy ones. But, I mean, we'll see. They're an attacking side. Liverpool are an attacking side where they aren't too pressured in the back, and that's because of Virgil van Dijk. He's a great player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just fantastic.
Yeah.
And having Alexander-Arnold next to him, which I have as my fourth defender, I am keeping him because not only that, it's the fact that Alexander-Arnold actually takes the corners. He's always running up the line, and he's creating those opportunities as well. So I'd be a fool to get rid of him.
I think you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, even though he was sick and last week, and that I think caught a few people by surprise.
Definitely, yeah. I think it was just the morning where basically you'd said, I'm feeling quite ill, not really ready to play, but it's good to see the flag's gone off him. So good to see that he's ready to go for the next game week, which is fantastic. I think Trent is an absolute essential. Honestly, he's the type of defender that you would love to have in your squad because he's in such a good Liverpool side, but he also really comes up to almost be like a midfielder. He comes up so high to get those crosses in, and he's actually quite creative to be a defender. So good to have him, and he's definitely staying in my side for sure. Who else do you have as your fifth defender, Taylah?
As my fifth defender, I have Cresswell. So he's from West Ham, and I think he's done really well this season so far. He's got a total of 23 points, which is really good. He's got some bonus points up for the season, about 3, and for the pricing of 5.5, I'm gonna keep him because I'm happy with him.
I think you're right in keeping him. He's on crosses as well, so he is pretty good to be priced at 5.5. I think that's pretty accurate. And West Ham have been doing so well this season. I know you've got 3 West Ham assets, and I've got 2 myself, so it's a good pick, I think. And they've got a decent run of fixtures. I mean, nothing too crazy, but they've got Leeds up, and then they've got Brentford at home, which should be a decent fixture depending on how Brentford holds up against the big teams. Everton, Tottenham and Aston Villa. So there are a couple of good fixtures for West Ham, and I guess they can probably keep some clean sheets as well if the rest of the team is going well. Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Do you want to go on to the next couple? Midfielders?
Yeah, sure. So in my midfielders, I have...
First up, you've got Kovacic, is that?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So for 5.1, 29 points, how could you look away?
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. That's cheap, isn't it?
That is so cheap. And with his fixtures, they've got Man City, but after that, they've got at least 5 good games. Southampton, Brentford, Norwich, Newcastle and Burnley, so I cannot shy away from that.
Lots of green.
Lots of green, and I think a lot of other FPL players are going to be bringing him in. So, it's just great to see that he's got 29 points, and he's got a couple bonus points, not too many, but hopefully he can bring some more in, and really be
Fantastic.
a threat to the opposition.
Yeah. I know Kovacic is one of the Chelsea midfielders that's pretty nailed. He's probably the nailed out of their midfield, because I know Pulisic is out. Mount's been taken off, obviously. He's not selected. Kante's been out kind of here and there. So I think Tuchel actually prefers to have Kovacic in his playing style. So that's really interesting for him to be nailed. He's played 90 minutes the last 2 games. So, I mean, that's a good sign for Kovacic owners, I guess. So you're looking to definitely have him in there for 5.1. That's cheap. Yeah, that's really cheap.
That's cheap, definitely.
Even
for a
Gallagher's
change up
more expensive.
in.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
And to get rid of Mount, who's not getting any points, but because he's not playing, but he's worth more. He's
it's
like
so
I might as
expensive
well change
compared.
it up now.
Exactly right. Exactly. Let's go on to our next. Oh, my favourite. I know I'm not a Liverpool fan, but he's one of my favourites, Mr. Salah himself.
Salah is just a must-do.
Yeah.
For 50 points, last game
that.
12 points.
Wow.
With a total of 8 bonus points. How could you say no?
Yeah.
It's just great to see that. Their fixtures are, green and red. But we all know that Liverpool can really bring a game to their advantage.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I agree.
I just think I got to bring him in there and really consider him as a consistent captain as well.
Yeah.
And I'll have the choice of him and Ronaldo, I think, to really change that up. Maybe I'll even go Alexander-Arnold for a captain one time, if you know what I mean.
Wow. Pretty ballsy there. His ownership actually went down. How interesting is this, Taylor? His ownership went down to 57.5 since writing our slides. So people must be selling him. I guess they want to be able to fund the premiums, the other premiums. Of,
Lukaku.
All the Chelsea assets. And maybe
Wouldn't
even
be
put some money in the back line, because I think a lot of people are starting to think to put more money into their back line in the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool, I guess, and Man City too. Man City's got some, we haven't even spoken about Man City, but they've got some fixtures in the next few weeks that start to turn. Who's your next midfielder that you've got in here?
Alright, so next I'm actually considering Sarr. So a bit less points than Salah by half. But it's really going to fit in with my price budget. So if I put him in there and we have a look, he's got about 30 points already. And we already spoke about him previously. He's got those minutes in the game, and he's really creating the opportunities for his team. So I really hope that he can provide me with some more points in the next game week.
Yeah, I think so. It's good to see a Watford player nailed. I know the Watford team itself hasn't been doing the best, but I mean, if he's scoring goals, that's what we bought him for. What we buy him for is to the point. So I'm hoping he will haul, because I am looking to get him this week, and we might reveal that in the next video as well. We'll talk about those selections. But yeah, he is looking good, and I mean, he's got Newcastle at home, then he's got Leeds as well. So yeah, we'll see how he goes. And
if I have to transfer him out later, that will be one of my transfer options.
Absolutely.
Possibly,
definitely down the line. He might not be a long-term option, maybe just something short-term. What about Ben Rama? I think you're keeping Ben Rama, is that correct?
I am going to keep Ben Rama at the moment. He will have the international games soon, I believe. But last week he had 10 points. So I think a lot of people were like, hang on a minute, let's just keep him for a bit longer. Because he does really bring it home. And that was against Man United without Antonio.
Yes.
So, come on.
Incredible. It was a little bit lucky, but you know what? We saw in Gameweek 1 and 2 where he put in 12 points for each of those games. I actually bought him the week after where he blanked in 3 and 4. So I was so happy last week because I didn't have a chance to sell him. I was so happy he actually returned last week. So I'm also keeping him. He's got a good run of fixtures. West Ham's done a decent job this season so far. So they've got Leeds up next and then Brentford at home, which should be a good fixture for him. So I guess we'll see.
And he's got a total of 7 bonus points. That's
bonus
just great. I
magnet,
can't wait. I can't wait to see him bring in some more. But like you, I brought him in when he had a bit of those blanks. So
Yeah.
I was a bit disappointed, but hopefully he can be a bit more consistent in the next few weeks
Yeah, I hope so
before
too.
his break.
Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
so. What about this last midfielder you got?
So I've actually chosen Gray.
Did you?
I think Gray is a good choice from Everton, even though they didn't really have the best game last week. He only brought in two points against Aston Villa. Kudos to Aston Villa for having a great game.
Yeah.
But before that, 7 points, 8 points, 9 points. I'd be a fool to look past him.
Yeah, especially for his price at 5.8. I mean, he's got to be one of those players that get involved, especially with the likes of, like we said before, Richarlison and DCL out. So he might be that attacking option going forward for Everton.
Yeah, absolutely. So they do have Man United coming up, but in between that is Norwich, West Ham, and Watford. So hopefully he brings in and can show us what he's got.
Yeah, they've got some good fixtures. Next 5 fixtures are pretty decent apart from Man U. And they've got Wolves after Watford as well, so that's going to be interesting. Definitely. Yeah. Wow. Awesome. What about your front three? You're keeping your front three from Game Week 5. Do you want to explain your choices about not moving them on?
Yeah, so I just think, you know what? I'll keep my front three. Yeah. Pookie from Norwich has a great fixture coming up. He scored a goal in his last game at only 5.9 million. Mm-hmm. He does only have 19 points, but in their first 5 games, they played Liverpool, Man City, Leicester, Arsenal, and Watford. So we'll see if he can bring in a couple points for being that cheap forward for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, next Everton, Burnley, and Brighton. So
yeah, the next 4 look decent. I mean, even though Norwich are conceding, I think Pookie sometimes he's just up there. He's just in the right position, and if there are keeper errors, I would not be surprised if Teemu Pukki scored a couple goals in the next few. He's probably
bring
good.
That Pookie party.
I know. Bring 2 tickets to the Pookie party, please.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see how Teemu Pukki goes. A 5.9, that's actually pretty decent. I mean, even St. Maximus, 6 point something. How much is he? Yeah, even St. Maximus, 6.7. So for a price of 5.9, I mean, we can't expect too much from a Norwich side, but he is one of those people who can nab a goal, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. And with my budget coming in now, this is looking like the team I'm going to have.
I think so.
And finishing that off with Antonio, who did not play last week because of his red card.
No.
But they are playing Leeds this weekend. So I'm hoping that he brings the magic.
Yep, definitely.
And will fight for his team because he could not play last week.
I think Antonio is going to have an absolute rager against Leeds. Leeds have battered with injuries at the moment, so Bamford was just announced out. So I know Rafinha's out, Luke Ayling's out as well. So Antonio's actually one of the picks that might be a captain pick for me. So, I know,
really?
How interesting is that? So, we'll see. I still got to do a couple more tinkering and looking at a couple of results and stats and stuff. But Antonio's quite up there. But also, your third striker there is also one of my top picks. So, we'll see who's I'm going to captain.
Well, that last player of the team is Ronaldo. So, he is coming in at 12.6 mil, but he is worth it if you ask me.
Yeah.
2 games and he's already got 19 points.
That's insane. Yeah.
That is insane. You know that his players on the pitch are looking for him when he's going up forward, and he's finishing those goals for his team.
Yeah.
And he's just so reliable. However, if you look at their fixture, he's got Aston Villa next, which is all right, but then they've got Everton, Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham, and Man
Ooh.
City.
They've got a run of Liverpool, Tottenham, and Man City all in the 3 weeks. I don't know. I think I might have to ship him out at one stage. I'm not too sure, to be honest. But yeah, I think you're right in picking him because have a look at his ownership. His ownership's 47.6%. So that's quite high. When he hauls, he will haul. He will bring up that rank for you, won't he? Amazing.
He definitely will.
Yeah, I actually think that Everton game, I'm pretty sure that Everton game he will do well because Everton's, I mean, they're a bit here and there, but I don't know why they've got a fixture rating of 4. I don't know. I mean, who knows?
I'm thinking of keeping him, but I just might not captain him just to see how he goes against Everton, you know. But that's to be discussed and thought of a bit later as the time comes.
Taylah, have a look at this. From December, from game week 14, have a look at that amazing fixture run. Can you see that? Oh my gosh. They've got a total of 13. I know. So we've got to be careful. I know some people are saving their wildcard for that period to get some United assets in for that because that is an amazing run. But you know, we'll see. Oh, wow. Amazing. I gotta own him then. Gotta own him.
Yeah, maybe bring him in around then.
Yeah, bring him back. Bring up those United assets, definitely.
Yeah, well, I actually brought him in the week that he came before that price rise on him. So I was quick on it and I just brought him in.
You brought him straight in. So you actually have 1.1 million in the bank. So that's actually decent. You've really maximized the use of the wild card here, I can see.
Yeah,
you pretty happy with that?
I am really happy with it at the moment. So it will be a tough decision for my team selection for the deadline. But overall, I think I've made a great chop and change of players, and I think this is a solid looking team.
Let's have a look how you will go for this week. I'm very excited for you. We're going to head back now to our normal screen. So that was your old team that we've got up on the screen there. So the last couple of things is we want you guys to get in touch. All right? Hop into our league. We've got some cash prizes for first and second, but we've also got some new entries. I think we've got 4 new entries so far for this week. But join our league in the description below. We'll have some links to that below. But
yeah. So any suggestions? If you think my wildcard needs some more changing, I would appreciate any kind of feedback. We really want you guys to get involved with our decision making.
Absolutely.
Because we still have room to improve. We're here to play because we love it and it's a bunch of fun. So definitely join our Twitter community and get involved with our Instagram. We're really engaging in there. We want to know about how you're going and what you're up to as well.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear from you and want to know what you're going to do this game week. Who are you captain? How many Chelsea defenders are you going with? We'll see.
Yeah, so pop it in the comments below and make sure to stay tuned for our Game Week 6 team selection before the deadline.
See you guys.
Bye.